And thank you for picking me over a glass of beer. How many of you have to persuade someone to do something in order to do your job? You know, it can be as simple as persuading someone to return your phone call, so we all have to persuade. And persuasion is a skill. It can be learned. I think it's one of the most important skills to be successful in sales. So I want to show you a little strategy here about how you can use persuasion in your selling so that you can sell more and be even more successful. This is sales. Salespeople that are able to build rapport with their clients do much better in sales. The ones that don't have that skill don't do as well. So your job really is to build rapport. And by the way, some salespeople will tell you they're good at it, but they don't know what they're doing. They don't know how they do it. In order to repeat what you're doing with different clients, you have to know how to do it. So I'll show you how to be like Sherlock Holmes. Does everybody know who Sherlock Holmes is? The famous detective? He could be in a room filled with people just like this, and everyone could see the same things that he could see, yet he was the one that noticed the clues. And your clients are all giving you clues about how you should be building rapport and how you should ultimately be selling and influencing your customers to buy. So I'm going to make it easier for you to be like Sherlock Holmes by looking at two different dimensions of behavior. And that's how we'll organize these clues. And I'll show you what they mean, because it really will show you how to work with your clients, and even more important, how they're going to buy. You think that would be helpful if you knew how your clients were going to buy? Okay, so I'll show you some of those clues and how to use them. And obviously we'll talk about how to use them in sales. Okay? Sound like a plan? Good, because that's the one I have. Okay, I said I earlier. This is what rapport is. It's the ability to relate to a person in a way that you create an environment of trust and understanding. It is not your client's job to build rapport with you. It is your job to build rapport with them. Now, the other thing that you should think about, clients that you like to work with, the people that you find you get along with the easiest, they're probably like you. Because we're comfortable with people who are like us in terms of some of these observable behaviors. So when you think about your clients, when I show you some of these clues, when you have a very difficult client, it's probably someone who's very different from you on these dimensions of behavior that I'll show you. And when I show you some of the specific clues, you'll go, ah, that person is different than I am here and there. And since we're comfortable with people who are like us, we're wired a certain way. It's easy for us to just be ourselves. Now, I don't know about you, but do you get to pick your clients? Yeah, I don't either. So it is our job to adapt to our clients. And there are two predictors. The salespeople who tend to be more optimistic tend to be more successful. It's a general belief that things will turn out okay. And in the world of sales, it sure helps if you generally believe things will turn out okay. Now, the other predictor of success in sales is flexibility, the ability to do different things in different situations. So if you're working with a client who's very different than you are, you've got to be flexible enough to build rapport with that person. And some people find that hard. That's the person who's going to be working harder in sales. The ones that are innately more flexible can adapt. And many people will do this intuitively. You'll say, how do you do it? I don't know, I just got a gut feel. And trust your gut. There is a neurological link from your gut to your brain. Think about it. Prehistoric man, we're designed for survival. And if we had to whip out an Excel spreadsheet to say, hey, tiger, do you eat me or I eat you? Let me check the column. We would all be dead. So you've got to go with your gut. It's a very quick reaction. So when you're working with clients, and after I show you some of these clues, you make the decision. Do you get this gut feel that things are going well? They probably are. If you're thinking it's not going so well, my recommendation would be to do something else, because whatever you're doing ain't working. So do something different. I want you to think about someone who you trust. Could be someone in your family, could be a client, could be someone you work with. Does everybody have somebody in mind that you trust? Okay. Do you like them? It is almost impossible to dislike someone who you trust. Now here's where the persuasion research comes in. We tend to comply, do what they want. We tend to comply with people who we like. So if your clients like you because you built rapport, bingo, you're ahead of the game. And that's why rapport is so important, because it allows you to be more persuasive. You're able to influence more because people like who they trust. And when you are perceived to be like someone, it's just a short path to connecting. And that's why you do it. And you know, the saying, people tend to buy from people who they like. You've heard that? There's some truth to that. Now, they don't only buy from people they like. You've got to demonstrate some value. But certainly it shortens your sales cycle when people do like you. What is one thing that you're going to do differently as a result of today's program? Yes? Adjust your speaking style. That would be great. That would be very important. What else?
Not talk about personal things to the control person.
Not talk about personal things to the control person. Very smart strategy. I'll say one more. Anybody wants to get closer to the beer? Now the time to start. Yes?
Introduce myself by shaking hands and move from there based on the clues that I assess.
Introduce yourself, shaking hands, making an assessment of the handshake, and then going from there based on the assessment. Very good strategy. Very good strategy. Okay. Well, I hope you have learned at least one new thing that you can apply and set yourself a goal of implementing within the next week. Robert Louis Stevenson, the writer, he says everybody lives by selling something. And you know, you may think you're a designer in the design world, by golly, you're in sales. So I hope I've helped you sell even more. So thank you so much, and the beer is there.